Hi, and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for Record of Ragnarok Season 3. 15 episodes dropped. This is one that I didn't think that we were going to get a third season. It's been like teetering on the edge of, are we going to get more, are we not? Thankfully, we got more, and supposedly they're saying that we're even getting more after this. This isn't the completion of the story yet, but what we know and love in these is about who the matchups are going to be. So it's a non-spoiler review, although I will be talking about some of the matchups that we have inside. I won't say who wins, but I've got to talk about it or some of the characters inside to let you know whether season 3 is worth watching. So let's jump in. With the 15 episodes, we have this weird recap. So if you need a recap, there's literally the first episode of season 3 called Prologue Recollections. So it kind of reminds us of what happened in the previous seasons. And then we start getting into the fights. From episode 2, I think, to 5 is the fight sequence with Qin Shi Huang and Hades. Hades is fighting to avenge his brother. This fight I thought was interesting. They're doing that thing that they've done in the previous seasons, but it feels like it's a little bit more fleshed out, a little bit better this season round, where you have the two fights. It starts out, it's getting pretty hectic. Everybody's showing their ultimate power form, and then it gets even more disastrous, and you wonder who's going to win. You have the narration over as they're narrating, whether they're narrating themselves as the main protagonist. Are you not entertained? Or whether you have the leaders of each side, the Valkyrie for one, narrating as to why they're stronger than they think and what their trump card is. And then we jump into some sort of flashback sequences. That's why these fight sequences take so long, why each match takes so long, is because we have big fleshed out backstories for each character, which I think keeps it more interesting. If it was just fighting all the time, you would enjoy it, but you wouldn't really care about it in the characters. Not that you do, because some of the animation here is a bit iffy. It's been iffy throughout the series, but where they highlight is during the fight sequences, or now what we're getting is a bit of fights outside of the matches in some of those flashbacks. And it's really nice to see them being quite creative in some of them. There was one particular shot that I just loved. A guy in bandages gets whacked in the stomach. You see those bandages disperse and snap because of the impact. There are moments like that in the creativity of the animation sequences that I was like, okay, I see you. It feels much better than what we've had previously. Or maybe my memory is just a little bit fuzzy, or maybe I'm in a better mood. But I was thinking that this season for me has been the most interesting.
The man who will shake up Ragnarok.
Now I would say, and I would love to know in the comments below who was your favorite fight to watch. I'd say that I think the second fight was the most interesting for me. Beelzebub and Tesla.
Humanity will never die! Let's hurry and end this round.
Nikola Tesla. When I heard that matchup, I thought, okay, so Tesla's a genius inventor, but how the hell is he going to fight Beelzebub? And seeing Beelzebub's backstory was really interesting. I thought they do this thing where in the zeitgeist of humanity on our plane of existence, we know all these characters for the most part. They take those characters, give them eccentricities that would be correct for their persona of what we know as the lore with them, and then twist it a little bit. And that's been quite fun watching these matchups and seeing these characters utilize their special abilities or their powers or the lore being added in. So this fight, again, is a few episodes, but it's a really interesting sort of Iron Man suit from Tesla and Beelzebub's fighting powers, which is, according to Nikola Tesla, is science, but it looks like magic and, supernatural abilities. We have all of those ideas crashing in with that, again, with a massive amount of narration.
Victors of this Ragnarok will be the gods of Olympus!
And then for one of the most unique fight sequences that we get here is Apollo and King Leonidas of Sparta. But not the Sparta what we know from the 300 film. It's like a mix mash of that dude who smokes a lot of cigars, as maybe Guile from Street Fighter. You take that character and then you have him against a dude that is super fast, Apollo, that has a few tricks up his sleeves. And this, again, is a good few episodes as it takes its turn as the humans try to survive Ragnarok. Basically, whoever's going to survive these matches, whoever wins out the most in the end, that species will get to survive. We are getting a little bit of the major overarching arc at the end of episode 15, which is nice because they've been kind of teasing what is the backstory with Odin the whole time. And here we get a little bit, but only a tiny amount. They definitely set up for a new season. It ends teasing the next match, and they also tease the amount of other fighters who are going to be fighting on Earth's side. It's basically Mortal Kombat but anime, and seeing all of our history's famous people, whether they're serial killers or inventors or mythical, like Hercules. We've had those come before. Between this series and Bakihama, these are the really fun anime fights that the animation isn't the best, but when they fight, when they narrate over each other, when you have the crazy music and then the zeitgeist of what's happening on Earth kind of influence the story as well. You'll laugh at some of the lines and the dialogue that you see. I think you'll end up enjoying it. As long as you go in knowing what this animation is, it's basically weird matchups, interesting fight sequence, sometimes really creative, huge amount of backstory, lots of narrative. So, bearing that in mind, I'm going to give this 3.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5. It's 15 episodes. Netflix didn't make us wait episode by episode. They just dropped it all and said, here you go. They didn't give screeners to reviewers. They just had enough faith that people that enjoyed the previous 2 seasons were going to enjoy this season. So I actually think this is the better season of the 3, which is why I gave it a slightly higher mark than my previous series. I think I'd have to go back and watch those. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. Out of the 3 seasons, which has been your favorite fight so far? And out of this season, what was your favorite fight? I'm looking forward to what they're going to do in season 4. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.